Ethan was 17 years old when he started believing that he was invisible. Not literally invisible, but invisible in a different way. People saw him in school hallways, sitting quietly in class and eating lunch alone, yet nobody truly noticed him. Teachers praised the smart students, coaches admired athletes, and social media celebrated popular kids. Ethan felt like he was nothing special. Every morning, he stood in front of the mirror and repeated the same painful thoughts in his mind. No talent.
Ethan's family struggled financially. His father worked long hours in a factory, while his mother cleaned houses to support the family. Late at night, Ethan often heard his parents worrying about bills and expenses. One evening, his tired father entered his room and noticed unfinished homework on the desk. Ethan admitted that he felt useless and believed he was not good at anything. His father pointed toward the cracked mirror hanging on the wall and said something Ethan would never forget. Every day, you look into that mirror, but you only search for weaknesses. If you keep doing that, you'll never see who you can become.
The next day at school, the teacher announced a public speaking competition. The winner would represent the school and receive a scholarship opportunity. Ethan immediately looked down at his desk because public speaking terrified him. Suddenly, his friend Noah jokingly suggested Ethan should participate. The whole class laughed loudly, and Ethan felt deeply embarrassed. Patient, he refused to join. That afternoon, he walked home alone in the rain, completely broken from inside. When Ethan reached home, frustration exploded from his heart. He shouted that he was tired of embarrassing himself. His mother calmly brought him a cup of tea and shared her own story. She explained that when she was young, she dreamed of becoming a teacher, but life forced her to sacrifice her dreams for responsibilities. Even after years of struggle, she never stopped believing that difficult times create strong people. Her words touched Ethan deeply. That night, he stood in front of the mirror again and asked himself a question for the first time. What if I'm more capable than I think?
The next morning, Ethan shocked everyone by signing up for the competition. Students whispered and mocked him everywhere in school. Many believed he would fail badly. But this time, Ethan decided not to quit. Every evening, he practiced speaking alone in his room. His hands shook, his voice cracked, and sometimes he forgot simple words. Practice felt painful and embarrassing. Yet he continued, trying again and again. One evening, after another terrible practice session, Ethan became frustrated and almost gave up completely. Then he looked at the mirror once more. He imagined two different versions of himself. One version was weak, insecure, and always afraid to fail.
The other version was disciplined, calm. Ethan realized the difference between them was not talent. It was persistence. From that day onward, he changed his daily routine. He woke up earlier, practiced every day, recorded his voice, and learned from every mistake. Weeks passed, and Ethan slowly transformed into a stronger person. He still felt nervous, but fear no longer controlled him. Finally, competition day arrived. The school auditorium was filled with students, teachers, and judges. Ethan's heart pounded as he walked toward the stage. For a few seconds, his mind went completely blank. Then he remembered his father's words about always searching for weaknesses. He took a deep breath and finally began speaking. Ethan spoke honestly about fear, loneliness, insecurity, and the pain of comparing yourself to others. At first, his voice trembled, but soon the audience became completely silent. Nobody laughed anymore, because everyone connected with his words. Near the end of his speech, Ethan said something powerful. Most people wait to feel confident before they start. But confidence is built after you start. Not before. The auditorium exploded with applause, and many students stood up to clap for him. Ethan did not win first place in the competition. He finished in second place. But for him, that did not matter anymore. The real victory was defeating the fearful version of himself that believed he could never succeed. Months later, Ethan became one of the most confident speakers in school. Younger students started asking him for advice. Whenever someone asked how to stop being afraid, Ethan always gave the same answer. You don't wait for fear to disappear. You move forward while being afraid. One night, Ethan stood before the same cracked mirror again. But this time, he saw a completely different person. Not a perfect person, not the most talented person. Just someone who finally understood an important truth. Your life changes the moment you stop doubting your own potential. And sometimes, the only thing standing between you and success is the reflection staring back at you in the mirror.